Hey, Gary McGowan here, and today we're going to dive deep, sort of into the deep end on the Toronto real estate market. You know, we have had tremendous amount of news come out over the last couple of weeks about the market going up, going down, and if you've been reading any headlines, you would think the market's crashing. Well, let's do a little myth busting, shall we? Anyways, let's roll the intro. Well, as said, we're going to do a little myth busting on the Toronto real estate market. And in future videos, we're going to dive deep into the Peel region, Durham region, York region, and seeing what is going on over the summer months and how it relates to last year. And more importantly, how it relates to, say, over time. Because real estate is best observed over time, over the last 10 years or so. And of course, we should not be surprised over time. Markets always tend to go up, sometimes faster than others, but over time, gradual increases are perfect. It's good for sustainability. It's good for our GDP. It's good for the local community, the local stores and everything like that. And it is really, really important. So we're going to talk about some stats. I know stats, numbers, figures, but stay with me. It's really going to be really, really good. I've got some good local numbers too of what's going on the resale side for detached homes, townhouses, and condos. Those are always good to keep an eye on because, of course, condos and townhouses are what move the market so those detached homes can be sold. And it's really important that we understand it from an economic point of view, but also from a numbers point of view to see how fast things are actually moving, right? So I put together a little presentation here. I got some slides that I'm going to put up on the screen and share some numbers with you. It's probably important that we do that and go through those numbers together for those detached and towns and condos. And we'll look at it from a whole. We'll look at it a little bit more specifically, and it'll give us a good flavor of what's going on in the market. Because like I said, if you've been watching any of the news or listening or reading any headlines, all the newspapers are saying less sales are happening, less sales, the market's going down. But when you peel the onion away, as we like to do here, there might be some other things that come up, right? Okay, so let's do a little screen share here. Here we are. Toronto real estate market for August 2021, the heartbeat of the market, and we'll go through some numbers. The first thing that we're always going to look at is making sure that you got a heartbeat. The first thing that we're going to look at is simply this. As I said, condos, detached, and townhomes, and we're going to look at it from a big picture scale, and then we're going to get a little fine-tuned here. So as we can see here, the numbers that you see on the screen at the moment is the number of total new listings that have come to market since January. So in January, we had about 3,500 new listings come to market of all property types. And then throughout the year, March through February and May, those were our big months, 7,200, 7,800, just over 7,000. And the last couple of months, June and July, have come down 6,385 and 5,107 of brand new listings. Well, let's take this a step further. Let's see how many of those homes were selling. And we can see here back in January is always a little bit of a slower month, 2,653 of all property types. And the height of the market for most homes sold in Toronto was in March. And you can see that at 5,128. And since then, we've taken good steps down. In fact, that would be a healthy market on moving. And as you can see here, over the last couple of months, we've been in the threes. So 3,800 for June and 3,269 for the month of July of how many homes actually sold on the Toronto Real Estate Board in the city of Toronto. Okay, let's remember, we are talking just the city of Toronto. So we've had a good, healthy number sell. And over that time, the listings have come down, which in sense has also meant that the number of homes come to market have sold, but that number's come down as well. So one could say, if you looked at just the numbers in the graph, we have had a decline in sales. We've also had a decline in listings. And we're going to look at some of those average prices here. And what does that typically do to the pricing? Well, let's take a look at that as I flip through. Before we get that, we should talk to you about the months of inventory. So if nothing else came on the market, how soon would we be out of inventory? And as you can see here, for the months, pretty much all year, we've been at about 1 month worth of inventory. June and July, we're at 1.3. Now we're sitting at 1.4, and a balanced market is at 3 months. So we still have a long way to go before history or the pundits out there would say that we are in a balanced market. We are still very much in a seller's market. And as you get from 3 to 6 months, you start to swing into the buyer's market. But from 0 to 3 months, you might say we are in a seller's market. And clearly we can see that right here. Okay. Average price. I said we're going to get to this. Let's do this. This is again for all of Toronto Real Estate Board. I am on purpose hiding the month of July when this pops up. So as you can see here, for all property types, we started at 865,000 in January. We've been climbing. May was the height of the numbers that you see here, 1.1 in the month of May, with 12 days on market, as you can see there, and slight decline, just a slight decline in the month of June, and 13 days on market. Now, what do you think we're doing for the month of July in the city of Toronto? We going up, we going down, we staying stable? Where are we? Well, let's have a look at that. We are down ever so slightly with 1,016,000. Now, 16 days on market, that's typical of our summer months. If we looked last July, in fact, if we take out last year and we look back going forward, that's somewhat normal for how our prices fluctuate throughout the year. So let's take this a step further, right? Because we just don't buy all property types. You know, many buyers there are buying, whether you're investing in a condo, townhouse, or a detached. So let's look at them a little bit more precisely, right? So first up, we're going to look at Toronto condos, and that's a big part of the market in Toronto. Well, as you can see here, these are the total new listings throughout the year. So 2,100, we started off, and as you might recall, this time last year through into the November, December months, it was the right time to buy a condo. And we're starting to see that change a little bit, and the numbers will tell us. So we've gone up to 3,388, 3,520, the number of condos coming to market, total new listings. And in July, 2,971. And as you can see here, here's the number of units that have sold. So February, March, and April, we were all well over 2,000 units, our condos sold. This is resale that have sold. And as you can see here, over the last couple of months, we've been hovering at about 1,800 units of condos that are selling. That's a good, healthy market. And you can see that pricing. We're going to see here what that's done to the pricing. Days on market, yep, can't forget that. We're hovering right now at about 1.7, 1.5, 1.7. Again, if nothing else came to market, we would be out of stock in about that time. Okay, let's look at the average pricing. We're going to compare this year versus last year. So what's on the screen right now is last year's prices. So of course, we all know what happened we all know what happened in April of 2020. The market really got, put on pause for a month, and then it slowly started coming back. So we can see that the height of the pricing last year was at $723,000, and this year, here's what it's done. Well, we've caught back up to that February pricing, as you can see here in the condo market. So as of July, we are averaging a price of $716,000. And what I might do in the notes, actually, I should have it in front of me, is the price per square foot. And for many of the condos in Toronto, we were over $1,000 per square foot there for sure. Okay, so there's your condos hovering at 716. Basically, since May, that price has been very stable. 717, 474, 717, 710, and just ever so slightly down at 716, 003. Beautiful. Now let's look at townhouses. These are not a lot of townhouses come to market in the city of Toronto. Most of them, most are condos or semis or detached, but I'm going to keep it the same here. We're going to do the same analysis for every region. So we're going to look at condos, towns, and detached. And here's our numbers here. So throughout March in through June, it was very stable with the number of solds. And as you can see here, 98 sold in the month of July, but the number of listings were way down. Months of inventory is about 1.3. And the average pricing, again, we're going to compare last year to this year. And we are hovering for a townhouse at $1,076,000 last July. So where are we at today? Let's take a look. We are at an increase of about 5%, I believe it is. It's $1,170,000. We'll call it $73,000 for a townhouse. So look to see where the opportunities are. If you are looking to sell a townhouse, now might be the time because of the inventory level, and that price is going to hold very, very strong. Let's look at detached homes. We all love our detached homes, and Toronto has a fair share of them. So here's our listings. So of course, back in January, we were very shy on listings across the board, right? We know that. And this trend follows the three property types that we've been looking at. And excuse me. The months of March, April, May, we were over 2,000 new listings, then down to 1,700, and now down to 1,187. So what's that going to do for our pricing? Well, let's have a look in just a moment. Here's your number of solds. So well over 1,000 for your spring market months, you might say. And July, we got down to 850, which is the second lowest on the year. But look at the number of listings, right? There's still not a lot of inventory. In fact, there's only 1.3 months worth of inventory, not a lot. And if we look at the days on market, it still hovers. I don't know if I have it on the next slide or not, but it still hovers around 15 days. And really what that's saying is there's a lot of properties coming to market that are holding offers, and maybe those offers might have conditional period in it, or you're buying on the 4th or 5th day that home comes to market, and you do have a conditional period for typically 5 to 7 days as well. Average price. So let's have a look at where we were last year. This time last year in July, we were at 1.5 million. So $1,545,000 was the average price of a detached home here in the Toronto area. Today, the height of the month or the height of the year, we were in March. That was at 1,753,000. That was in March. That was due to a lack of inventory, a lot of buyers. And then scrolling through into the summer months where we are today in July is at 1.633. Still an incredibly strong number. You can see that increase year over year from last July as well. And again, that's about I think it's 5%, just over 5% increase. And we are always taught that a 5% increase is healthy for many reasons. Healthy for the economy, healthy for homeowners. It's healthy, believe it or not, for buyers as well. Of course, what goes into the local economy and everything like that, 5% is good. In fact, when I'm analyzing investment properties, depending on the area, typically I'll always default to 5% appreciation per year. There you go, 5.7. I should have had that number. I should have known that was coming. I was not far off. 5.7% increase. Fantastic. So let's take a look. I always like looking at how our properties have increased over a length of time. And this is dating back 10 years to 2011. And you can see the average price for a detached home is $511,000. And throughout the years, right, we've had nice increases. 2017, 2018, it hovered at about the same price. And then we got our bumps or our increases again. And now we are average at $1 million year to date, $1,047,000. That's year to date numbers. And there's always opportunity. Remember, real estate is best looked at from the long term, from the patient game. And if you are a home buyer or home seller, you're not, and you're wondering, I have this question a lot. Should I do rentals on my property? I don't know. Will it sell if I do them? Or do I go from 4 bedrooms to 3 bedrooms? What do I do? The question is, how long are you going to be in that home? If you're going to be in that home for the next 5 years, 10 years, who cares? Build it to your liking, build it to what you want. But if you are looking to exit the home, then start to have these types of conversations of what those types of rentals and things look like. But remember, real estate is best looked over the long term. And many of the home buyers, here's what we know, many home buyers, or sellers, I should say, stay in their home for an average of 7 years. Usually it's about 7 to 10. And if you look at these numbers, most of them have doubled and in some cases tripled the amount of equity that they have in their home. So there is always an opportunity here. That's your Toronto real estate market update. For August, we'll be doing Peel region, York region, Durham region. Those are the big markets around here that move the GTA. And we're going to be talking a lot more about that. And if you have questions, drop them into the comments below. If you have other insight or maybe you disagree with some of the things I'm saying, I'm good with that too. I'd love to see it in the comments. If you wanted me to dig deep on a specific area, let me know. I'm here to support you. I'm here to provide some I'm here to provide you with the information that you need to make the decisions. And again, I'm Gary McGowan. I help investors buy real estate all over Canada. In fact, I've been sending out referrals to Montreal this week, up north this week, all over the place. And I will make sure you get connected with the right real estate agent that has that experience. So anywhere across Canada, in fact, anywhere in North America, people are actually reaching out to me because I know the questions to ask realtors, or I already have an amazing relationship with the local realtor in your area. So please do reach out. You can always get a hold of me at homes@GaryAMcGowan.com. And of course, you can always reach out to me on my cell, 416-919-4279. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.